So you're in the market for a new Blackmagic camera, and you wanted to get one yourself. I am using the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, and I just pulled off that autofocus move, and I'm using the Blackmagic Cinema Camera 6K full frame. So which one are you going to pick up as your first camera? I've got two comparisons, two cameras that I'm talking about, and I'm going to let you know what the advantages and disadvantages are of each, because you know what? They're both great cameras. I'm using them both today. And when you want to upgrade from those hybrid cameras that just don't do everything that you want and you really want to look like a professional, well, if you pick up a Blackmagic camera, you're going to feel like you are focusing on the video, which is what you might want to do if you're looking at this video. If you're new to my channel, definitely consider subscribing. I like to talk about cameras, specifically mirrorless cameras for video, and that's why today I'm going to help you figure out what Blackmagic camera to start off with. If you're looking in that pocket line of cameras, either the lowest end, such as the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, or really splurge and get the Blackmagic Cinema Camera 6K full frame that has that full frame look, but it costs more than double what the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K costs. So you want to see which one is the best buy for you, right? Because is everything really worth almost double the price, or can you get by with using what you got, right? Because now look, first let's talk about one thing that a lot of these mirrorless cameras has as an advantage over the Blackmagic cameras, and that's autofocus. Autofocus is something that these hybrid cameras come with. They want to deliver. Sony's trying to push the autofocus. Canon's trying to push the autofocus. Heck, even Lumix went, you know what? We're going to ditch our contrast-based autofocus, and we're going to give you phase detect autofocus, just like everyone else is using. But then you look at the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, and you're like, it's got no autofocus. Is it focused on me right now? I don't know. As I close up, did it focus on me right now? I don't know. Well, one thing that you may not know is that Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K does have autofocus. However, the autofocus is contrast-based, and the autofocus is like touch to focus, and that's the only time it's going to focus. But if you've noticed, I've been walking around in this video, and it almost seems like I've got autofocus just fine on this camera. That's not the case. What I'm doing is doing rack focus. When you program different specific autofocus points and you plan ahead for that, what you're able to do is simulate an autofocus situation. Now, I had to manually control that off my phone. That's why I've got it on me. But I'm still able to have some sort of wireless distant control over the autofocus as long as I plan my points specifically. Now, I can move into different spots if I want, and then just hit the autofocus really quick so that it kind of pulls focus on me if I do a random move that I didn't plan on before. Like I'll hit it now, and it adjusted on me just a little bit. But because I planned it out, I can move from here to back here, and the autofocus stays on me, and it's a lot smoother because it's pre-planned focus. And that's something that I like, and it works pretty well. Now, if you're spending more money and buying a Blackmagic Cinema Camera 6K full frame, what you're going to get is continuous autofocus, and it's got several modes of that. In one of the betas launched with the Cinema Camera 6K full frame and subsequent betas that were launched, the autofocus is trustworthy for professional shoots. It's got face detect autofocus, it's got object detect autofocus, and it's got basically, it could do center point autofocus if that's what you want, or it could just do phase detect autofocus, but only once and not continuous if you want. That's your choice. So there's a lot more flexibility on the Cinema Camera 6K full frame, and you have to kind of work around the autofocus for the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. Next is sensor size. That's a big difference. The Pocket Cinema Camera 4K has a 4/3 sensor, not a micro 4/3 sensor. It's like a 1.9 times crop rather than a 2 times crop. Whereas you have a full frame sensor on the Cinema Camera 6K. But there are options on the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K that can help out that sensor. Right now, I'm using a 70mm lens on the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, but on that 70mm, that would be 140mm on a 1/3 sensor or close to it. But I've got a Metabone speed booster that actually decreases that crop. So rather than a 70mm or 140mm, I've got like an 89mm, something like a good mix because it's 0.67 times. What that means, basically, is going to be wider, almost full frame, but not quite, on your Pocket Cinema camera, that you have that option and still save money from the Cinema Camera 6K full frame. And while doing that, you're able to make the lenses that you use bring in more light to that sensor because you use full frame sensors on that camera, and that makes it like so much better. Whereas on the Cinema Camera 6K full frame, you've got a full frame sensor, you're using the entire lens, you're able to gather all the light onto that larger sensor and then take advantage of what you can do. Now, it would be specifically shallow depth of field, but Pocket Cinema Camera 4K is no slouch because when you adapt it with the Metabones, I'm adapting it with EF lenses, you've got a ton of selection. On the Cinema Camera 6K full frame, I'm also adapting it to EF lenses using an MC21 Sigma L to EF adapter, and it works just fine. Here you can see my field of view. Now on the Cinema Camera 6K, my field of view is much larger, even though I've got both of them set at 70mm. And that's because the other advantage is that it records open gate, which is using the full 3x2 sensor. Of course, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K also records open gate. This is open gate. The sensor is 17:9, so you're using the full sensor. Unfortunately, what that also means is that you don't have that top and bottom negative space that you would normally get if you were doing that. But the good thing is that you're able to pull in a lot of light from both sensors, and from that standpoint, at least field of view, they're comparable, and you could save a lot of money on the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. But that's the other thing that I want to mention to you is the fact that you're recording 4K versus 6K and the recording modes. Now, this is something that is a little bit preference-based because on the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, you can record 4K at up to, I think, 75 frames per second up at this point to like 1080p at 120 frames per second. All these frame rates in between, but when you pick a lower resolution, your sensor crops a little bit more, which is downside. But that also happens with the Cinema Camera 6K. Cinema Camera 6K, though, can only record Blackmagic RAW. On the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, you've got more than Blackmagic RAW. You've got Blackmagic RAW, but you also have ProRes, and you get to record ProRes RAW on this camera. So all those recording modes. And when you're recording 1080p in ProRes, you get to use the full sensor, whereas you don't get that option of recording lower resolutions using the full sensor on the Blackmagic Cinema Camera 6K full frame. So data is going to be a lot more used on the Cinema Camera 6K full frame. Now, moving on from that, the image. You're looking at me now. Now, this is more of a subjective thing. I try to keep these equivalent when it comes to image quality. So just to let you know, I'm maxing out the resolution on both. So recording full 4K on the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, I'm recording full 6K open gate on the Cinema Camera 6K full frame. So I'm getting the highest resolution, but then I'm trying to match the shots so that they look equivalent. That's how come I'm here. But look at the images. Are they really that different? I don't know. That I will not decide for myself. I'll leave that up to you because it's subjective. To me, at least the images look gorgeous on both of these cameras. So that I can say is pretty cool. Now, when it comes to like camera bodies, I will say that the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K and 6K are pretty hefty cameras. But the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K honestly is a little bit smaller because of the unnecessary need to have so much. It's got one less mini XLR input, but other than that, the ports are pretty much exactly the same, and it's a little bit smaller. And on the side card slots, you have CFast and SD card slots even though it's a smaller body, while on the Cinema Camera 6K full frame, all you have is one CF Express Type B card slot. So you've got two card slots on the Pocket 4K with only one on the 6K. And it's actually, because it's a little bit smaller, it's easier to use on gimbals, though I wouldn't recommend that because of the lack of autofocus. And I'd actually default to using the 6K full frame, even though it's a big, awkward body. If your gimbal can handle it, I'd rather use that than using the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. And now one of the last things I want to talk about is, of course, in-body image stabilization, or image stabilization in general. Do these cameras have it? No, neither of them have it. But they both have built-in gyros, so they both have the same ability to stabilize in post. However, I ran a test to see if the stabilization is fine or works fine when you're using an image stabilized lens. And it looks okay for the most part, especially if you're holding it out in front of you. But what if you want to use the gyro stabilization? It does a pretty good job, though you have to realize that it's going to crop in a little bit, but it does a pretty good job of stabilizing it. And although you'd have to do some adjustments to your shutter speed or shutter angle to eliminate those like motion blurs that you get when the camera moves, it's not bad. And in conclusion, if I were buying a brand new cinema camera today and I never dabbed in it, I honestly feel like you can get a lot more bang for your buck buying the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K and then accessories with it so that you can get it to work to your needs. And unless you're looking for specific type of items that only the Cinema Camera 6K full frame can offer you, such as the open gate with 6K raw recording, that higher resolution, then you're better off with the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. And I would say that based on the fact that even though autofocus is limited, you have multiple card slots. You can still record to an SSD. You can record to an SD, which is honestly, especially with the tightest compression on the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, when you record to an SD, you can really use it on many different computers, and it's really convenient to work with when you're doing that. But you also have the ability to record ProRes RAW and ProRes when you don't want to actually record in RAW and hand it off to someone else who really is not in the Blackmagic ecosystem, such as someone using Final Cut Pro. They can use ProRes RAW or ProRes, and it worked just fine. The smaller body is easier to carry around. If you add a Metabose speed booster, you're going to get pretty good low light performance off of this camera with a lot of the same features that the Cinema Camera 6K full frame already has. The color science is already there with Blackmagic Color Science. And honestly, even though the Cinema Camera 6K full frame has a bigger battery, the battery life on both is somewhat comparable. So you're going to have to find a battery solution for each of them anyway. So for all in all cases, I'm choosing the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, but if you can get the 6K full frame, you will not regret it. That dual pixel autofocus that's continuous, once it got it, became a game changer, and the Cinema Camera 6K full frame is my favorite camera at this point. It kind of surpasses the R5 Mark II because of the fact that it has that quality, that open gate, and the files are just easy to work with. And it just looks cinema. That's all I got to say for today. I hope I helped you out with your choices, whether you want the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K or the Blackmagic Cinema Camera 6K full frame and this Pocket line of cameras. Yes, I do still consider the Cinema Camera 6K full frame part of their Pocket line because they've got the same or similar bodies. But questions on to you. And yes, I did not include the Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro, which has built-in NDs, and those are convenient too. But hey, I'm only comparing the most expensive versus the least expensive. And honestly, Pocket Cinema Camera 4K is such a good bang for your buck. You can almost get it under $1,000 if you find the right retailers and the used prices. And I got my Cinema Camera 6K full frame on sale like $1,600 a number of years ago. I don't know why they did that, and they haven't done it since, but one of the best decisions I've made. I'm done. As always, you can make my day if you subscribe today. This is Magnus, and I'm out. See you guys next time. Peace.